Hello and welcome to my latest video. Now this video features former middleweight contender Hugo Kelly. So we will go through Hugo Kelly's main career opponents and many of his statistics. So on to his main career opponents. Okay, Hugo Kelly. For Philadelphia, Jack O'Brien on 4 occasions, okay, scoring 1 win with 2 losses and 1 draw. Kelly also twice fought former heavyweight champion Tommy Burns, fighting draws in both fights. And he also fought a draw against the great welterweight and middleweight champion Tommy Ryan in a singular fight. Next up comes Billy Papke, okay, the Thunderbolt. Kelly fought him on 4 occasions, suffering 2 losses and 2 draws from those 4 fights. He also lost in a singular fight to the great middleweight champion Stanley Ketchel. But he did, however, then gain 2 wins, okay, over underrated middleweight champion, powerful Frank Klaus. So 2 wins from 2 good results there. He then loses to the giant slayer Jack Dillon, one of the great fighters of his time, in a singular fight, before then scoring 2 singular wins. The first over Rube Ferns. He also held singular win over Owen Ziegler. Next up is Charlie McKeever. Now Kelly fought him on 2 occasions, scoring 1 win and 1 loss. He then 6 times fought contender Mike Schreck, scoring 1 win with 2 losses and 3 draws. Next up is excellent Irish middleweight contender Mike Donovan. Hugo Kelly defeated him in a singular fight. Kelly then had a 5-fight series with Jack Twin Sullivan, scoring 1 win, 1 loss with 3 draws. Next up is Young Mahoney, whom Hugo Kelly fought a trilogy against. Kelly went undefeated with 1 win and 2 draws from said trilogy, and he closed out slide 1 with a win over Joe Thomas. So definite tough opposition there, you know, scoring wins over Rube Ferns, Frank Klaus, Jack O'Brien, fighting draws with Tommy Ryan and Tommy Burns, and then losing to fighters like Papke, Ketchel and Jack Dillon. Certainly mixed in good company. And then many excellent contenders, you know, Jack Twin Sullivan, Schreck, Donovan, McKeever, Ziegler. Very, very good first slide for a contender. So on to slide 2. Okay, Hugo Kelly fights excellent middleweight contender Eddie McGaughty on 2 occasions, scoring 1 win and 1 loss. He then fights and defeats Tommy Sullivan, before then also fighting and defeating Cyclone Johnny Thompson. So they're highlighted. There are 39 fights, okay, just for a contender. Okay, now Hugo Kelly scored 14 wins with 11 losses and 14 draws. Good morning, Martin. Good to see you, buddy. From those 39 fights, but 39 fights is a big total. I mean, that's more than you get top level world champions now by far. And he fought many all-time greats and some Hall of Famers and champions in there. So, on to the first of Hugo Kelly's stat slides. Now, he scored 15 knockouts, 9 knockouts in 3 rounds or less, and 2 knockouts in the first round. Now, Kelly never scored a stoppage over a champion, Hall of Famer or pound for pounder, and also as a pre-rating era fighter, he has 0 KOs against rated fighters. And in terms of rounds boxed, Hugo Kelly fought a total of 576. He fought 3 title fight rounds only, and he fought totals of 148 rounds against champions, 138 rounds against Hall of Famers, and 170 rounds against pound for pound fighters. Now pre-rating era fighter, so Hugo Kelly has 0s in rounds against top 10 fighters, top 3 fighters, and ring champions. So moving on to the first of the more niche opponent categories, champions. Now Hugo Kelly had 16 fights against champions. Included in that were 4 wins, 6 losses and 6 draws. Hugo Kelly defeated 3 individual champions. They were Philadelphia Jack O'Brien, Frank Klaus and Rube Ferns. He scored 0 knockouts over champions, so champions knocked out individually is none. And when we go to the Hall of Fame category, Hugo Kelly had 15 fights against Hall of Famers, including 3 wins, 7 losses and 5 draws. Now he defeated 2 individual Hall of Famers, them being Philadelphia Jack O'Brien and Frank Klaus, and again he scored 0 knockouts over Hall of Famers individually. And on to the pound for pound slide. Hugo Kelly had 19 fights against pound for pounders with a record of 6 wins, 7 losses and 6 draws. Now Kelly defeated 5 individual pound for pound rated fighters. They were Owen Ziegler, Rube Ferns, Charlie McKeever, Philadelphia Jack O'Brien and Frank Klaus, and he scored knockouts over 0, pound-for-pound rated fighters individually. And moving on to record against rated opponents, as said, Hugo Kelly, and highlighted by the rounds against rated opponents, Hugo Kelly is a pre-rating era fighter, has no fights against top 10 fighters, top 3 fighters or ring champions. Sadly, it would be great to have all these fighters from the pre-rating era's numbers. Sadly, we don't. He thus has beaten no individual rated fighters and scored knockouts over 0 rated fighters. But I am considering beginning a deep dive and digging out the ratings, because many publications would publish quarterly ratings. So every 3 months they'd list the top 10 fighters per division. And if I could start to gather many of those ratings up, I could start to build a picture of who the rated fighters were. Now, it'd only be effective if I found quite a large amount of them, but it's always an option I could go to, because they're not ring ratings, but they are ratings from their time. Okay, so it would carry a certain weight. So onwards we go to our next slide. It is world title fight starts now. Hugo Kelly had 1 world title fight, so he's more privileged than many fighters across boxing history. He had 1. His record is no wins, 1 loss, no draw. Thus he made no title defences and scored 0 title fight KOs, and he has 0 wins against top 10 fighters, top 3 fighters, ring champions and champions, Hall of Famers and pound-for-pounders in title fights. So on to the final slide for Hugo Kelly. Okay, he captured no world titles and he was awarded no world titles. So he was also never a lineal champion, nor was he an undisputed champion. So Hugo Kelly's video is done. I was going to do Jack Britton today, but I've put that off. Okay, there's other videos ready on Babe Herman, Dal Hawkins, yes, and others. But I thought, you know what, I won't do Britain today. It's my first day at home, so I'll chill out a bit more today and do Britain tomorrow or day after. But yeah, Jack Britton's video's coming a few days. Massive video. But I thought I'd put in a contender who mixed in really good company, scored a number of good wins. It's not only the wins you see over fighters like Klaus and Jack O'Brien, Rube Ferns, but it's also many of the other fighters like Ziegler and McKeever, Joe Thomas, and many of these other fighters who were fantastic fighters themselves. Not all-time greats, but fantastic or tough contenders. So he has many good wins in his career. So there's the video on Hugo Kelly. Okay, more videos coming over coming days, weeks and months. I'm out. I'm the boxing librarian. I'm out for now.